Well, here to discuss the AFCON 2021 to 2022 are a sports journalist with Capital FM Abuja, Mr. Friday Joshua. Thanks for joining us in the studio, Mr. Joshua.
Thank you for having me.
It's good to have you. I like the beard thing. I'm having this issue with my wife. She wants me to keep it low, and I like the way yours is. Anyway, we'll talk about that after the show. All right, joining us via Zoom from Cameroon is a freelance sports journalist, former media officer of the Cameroon women's national team, BONGBEN, LEOCADIA, JISI. Hello, it's good to have you on the show, JISI.
Yeah, nice to be here.
Good afternoon. It's a pleasure. We'll be talking in a bit. All right. This segment will be incomplete if we didn't have a player's perspective. Wearing those shoes via Zoom from Abia, Nigeria is an ex-Bundesliga player and an ex-Eyimba player, an ex-Super Eagles player, and currently a commissioner of sports in Abia State. Honorable Commissioner, Mr. Karibe Ojigwe, it's a pleasure to have you on the show. And I need an autograph, by the way.
Good to be on with you.
All right, it's a pleasure. So I'm going to start with you since you're with us here in the studio. AFCON 2021, what's your view so far?
Well, so far so good. I think we've been doing very well, talking about Cameroon hosting the competition, although there are some technical lapses that I've noticed over the time from game one up to this moment. We've seen scenarios whereby ball possession are going the other way around, when you different from what you are watching at the moment. We've seen referees making mistakes. Talk about the Zambia ref that took charge of the Mali-Tunisia game, and a whole lot of that. That goes to show that COVID-19 actually affected preparations, but the good thing is we are here and it's happening.
Okay, but what's the feel of the show? I mean, it's all about the feel. The feel is there, isn't it?
Of course, everybody's happy, but you know, because of the COVID-19, they will not allow a lot of fans to travel into Cameroon, so just a few crowd. But if you watch the opening ceremony, you know that to a large extent the stadium was full to the brim, and the presence of the president of Cameroon, talking about Paul Biya, the presence of Gianni Infantino and the CAF president and all of that, you know, made the opening ceremony a fantastic one, despite the COVID-19 pandemic that hampered preparations.
All right, good. So we'll go to Cameroon. Leo, first of all, I'd like to say congratulations to you guys on the successful hosting of it. Despite COVID-19 and all the intended consequences, you guys were still able to pull it off. What's your take? How far so far? How are you guys feeling over there?
It's been fanfare here. You know, everybody was waiting for the opening ceremony to actually say that AFCON is on. We pulled that off. You know, the president was in the field for the opening ceremony, and we saw a fantastic display of culture in the opening ceremony. So we can actually say that that opening ceremony kick-started AFCON. AFCON is on, and you know, after that day, we could confirm that Cameroon is actually hosting AFCON. And then so far, we've played at least the first day one matches have been played, and we've been seeing a lot of you know, fans have been really jubilating around the stadiums. I've gone around, maybe even though I've been to Olembe, not to Garoua, not to other places, but I can see how, you know, the millions of fans who are trooping in. Some actually come, but they don't get into the stadium. They stay in front of the stadium, which is like, why would you come right to the stadium and you can't get in? We know COVID-19 is actually an issue, because they have to present their vaccination card. They have to present a test before getting into the stadium, and you know, that's actually it's a problem. You know, this is not the Cameroon, you know. Without COVID, by now you would have seen how our stadiums would have been full. We had that in 2016 with the Women's African Cup of Nations, and it's a pity that we are hosting this AFCON when there is COVID.
Oh, well, so. Well, nonetheless, you guys have done a fantastic job. The opening ceremony was grand. I love the lion that showed up. I was like, okay, is this CGI? Is this computer graphics, or was this actually happening? And when I checked several videos, it was there and all. You guys did a wonderful, fantastic job. But Cameroon, before we come back to the studio, I want to ask, how is it like in Cameroon outside the studio? And of course, Nigerians want to ask, you know, we're famous for jollof rice, even though the Ghanaians are trying to, Ghana can't catch up with us in jollof rice. Is there Cameroon jollof rice? How are things happening over there?
No, you know, Cameroon doesn't do jollof rice. We don't know anything about jollof rice, but we have our specialty. There are some other traditional dishes that we have here. You can talk about ndole. Anybody that has been in Cameroon, ask them if they ate ndole. Ndole is a kind of bitter leaf soup, but it's cooked with groundnuts. It has a fantastic flavor. So you can ask them about that. We don't have to compete with Nigeria and Ghana on jollof rice. You people can fight on that. We'll find something else to fight this way. You can fight about football because, you know, when it comes to football, Nigeria and Cameroon, it's always a tug of war. So forget jollof rice because we are not there. We don't cook jollof rice. We are here for football, and that's where we fight. We fight on football, not jollof rice.
All right, that's a good one. It's a pleasure. Friday, so far we've seen several games go on and things have been going well. What's your assessment so far of the matches themselves, the various teams? What's your favorite moment if you have one?
Yeah, I think my favorite moment is the game between Nigeria and Egypt. Of course, that game actually took the shine off all other matches that have been played in the
You
first
sure
round.
you're not being biased?
No, I'm not being biased because ever since that game, a lot of football pundits have said this is a different Super Eagles they've played with. For the first time in 5 years, we've seen the Super Eagles played with purpose, with a particular tactics and all of that. And mind you, all other big guns in the AFCON this year are actually not living up to expectation. Cameroon, for me, in the first game, they were helped in a way to get their win against their opponents. And as well, Tunisia in Group F, they've taken the back seat in their group. Egypt has taken the back seat in Group D, where Nigeria belongs. And you know, and a whole lot, even Senegal is not even living up to expectation. As number one in Africa, I never expected them to play a shambolic kind of football when it comes to football in Africa.
All right, so okay, that's good. So we'll go to Cameroon. Cameroon, you guys have done well so far, 2 games, and you're looking pretty good, even though we know when the time comes, the Super Eagles, if we meet you guys, I don't, the story is going to be different. But how has it been in terms of the quality of football, the quality of refereeing, and what are your favorite moments so far, if you have one?
You know, going into this game, the Lions did not have any better preparation. They had no friendly game, so we were like, let's see what they are going to give us. That first game, we said, okay, penalties, for me personally, I said penalties have helped you, even though many people are looking for penalties to score. But I said, okay, penalties have helped them to get to where they are. But we saw a different team during the Ethiopian game. They at least had to score clinical goals. So far, so good. I think they are good, but you know, I believe too that if they meet stronger teams like Nigeria, that's where we want to see a better game. That's if they meet Nigeria, that's what we are waiting for here in Cameroon. Nigeria is still in Garua. Once they beat all the teams up there, we are friends. You know, finish Sudan, you've scored 1-0 already, finish everybody, but we're waiting for them here in Yaoundé. So that's where we measure the strength of this team, if at all we meet along the line. But for now, we think that if the team continues the way they are going, we've seen Abubakar score, he's already the leading scorer with 4 goals. Carl Toko Ekambi has 2 goals already. So if they continue like this, then we can hope. We're already in the 1/8 finals, so we hope to do better and get out of that stage. And you know, it's equally going to be good for us because without this, many people will not be going to the stadiums. So we still pray they remain in the competition so that many more people will at least go and watch other games.
Okay, that's fine. So, Josh, I'm going to ask, who do you think your likely pick for the finals? Ga, 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 ga.
Well, that's a difficult one, but going by what we've seen so far, I think Morocco are doing very well at the moment. They've already qualified, joined Cameroon, and we are hoping that subsequently Nigeria, after finishing this game, will see early qualification to the next round of fixture. But in the finals, I'm actually rooting for Nigeria to be in that final. That's for me.
Naturally.
Then I want to meet Algeria again.
You want us to meet Algeria again?
Again.
So you're predicting Algeria finals. What about the scores? What are you predicting?
For the finals,
yeah.
If you have to meet Algeria, it's going to be a slim win for Nigeria. I'm going by 1-0.
Okay, quite interesting. All right, LEOCADIA, what's your own prediction of the two countries who are going to make the finals?
At least at this stage, honestly, I can't say. Algeria is the defending champion. So far, they're not, they're not bright enough. Morocco is good, so we hope to see Morocco in the finals. Nigeria is quite good. They are getting into the finals, in my own opinion, but Cameroon will be there, even if we manage to get to the finals.
All right, thank you. So back to see here. What about the statistics so far, the football, the goal scores, and all of that?
Yeah, and so far so good. We've not seen a lot of goals being scored in the AFCON, and that goes to show that most of this team did not prepare. There were lack of friendlies and all of that. I think Nigeria just played one friendly against Ecotone Sports over there in Cameroon when they got to Cameroon, and a lot of matches have ended 1-0, 1-0. It's a very slim victory, okay. And the biggest we've seen was the game against Cameroon versus Ethiopia that ended 4-2. I think that's the biggest goal margin we've seen so far. But be that as it may, I think the statistics has been good. But when it comes to statistics of ball possession and all of that, we've seen starting from starting from the Nigeria versus Egypt game, I wonder if that was automated or somebody was behind it, but that was not the real reflection of what we watch on TV. Also, the game between Malawi and Guinea, almost the same thing. Also, and then talking about what happened between Mali and Tunisia, the referee scenario. At a point, I felt that watch wasn't working properly, but at the end of the day, when the press release came out that he suffered sunstroke, and I don't know how you suffer sunstroke that you're not be able to notice the timing. After blowing in the 5th minute, you recalled for play and ended the match 13 seconds rather earlier, and I think that is not good for African football. And this our European counterparts have actually said, are we sure this competition is going to hold and all of that, and we've gone against all odds to host this competition. So we should try to breach these lapses and make sure that this competition goes as smoothly as possible. All
right, Leo, what's your own take in terms of the goal scores, the officiating, all the data and statistics so far that has come out of it, very quickly?
Yeah, so far there's been a kind of goal scarcity. The highest been scored by Cameroon, four goals in a game. And like the person in the studio is saying, I think the teams were not really prepared for this competition. COVID contributed to that. There are restrictions in such a way that you don't have enough time to go to camp and then get other sparring partners. But I feel countries did not really prepare for the AFCON. And then talking about the goals, the way they were scored, especially the Mali-Tunisia game was really, it's a talk of town, because we're wondering if that coach was taken to the hospital afterwards that he's sick. Why was he sent to the field in the first place? But he has a bad record. That coach has that referee has a bad record. And if you just Google him, you see other competitions he has refereed, and so it means CAF really needs to do something about refereeing. It's not on the part of the host, it's CAF, and you should maybe check the record of which referee to referee which game. So at this stage, if he's sick, he should not referee our games. He should be taken to the hospital, let him stay there. And once he's out of there, then some other person can do it better.
All right, that's good. So, as it happens, Nigeria is playing live now. Studio, can we have now? I mean, so what do you think? What's your view? How's this going to end? 5-0, 3-1, 2-1, 1-1? How do you think it's going to end?
Well, I see a good number of goals being scored by Nigeria, but I just want this Sudanese side to score, because if you check the last 5 games, they've been unable to convert their chances. That means they've been lacking goals in their last 5 games, and I think coming up against a Nigerian side, we give them this kind of booster that, okay, we can actually do something even if we are not going to win this game. So I just hope they come up with a goal at least, but they can't take anything away from Nigeria, because Nigeria is going to beat them. Because at the moment, we're already 1 goal up from Samuel Chukwueze, that was caged by the Egyptians, and that assist came from Simon to Chukwueze, and we are 1 goal up at the moment. So subsequently, I'm expecting 2 more goals from the Super Eagles.
All right, so as we round up, in terms of the quality of the players, we have typically the usual international and local players. How has the quality of the technical play and the technical coaching, the technical part of it, how's it been so far?
So far, so good. For Nigeria, it has been good. Like I mentioned earlier, for the first time in 5 years, we've seen a different Super Eagles. This was the same set of players and the last coach worked with, but it's now becoming to look like the Frank Lampard and Thomas Tuchel situation, whereby it was the same players that Lampard left that the next coach took over. And now we've seen what they've displayed against the Egyptians. We have tactics. We know who to mark, who to take out, and all of that. Because if you watch that game against the Egyptians, Salah was totally cut off, no supplies of ball. Whenever he's with the ball, like 3 men are actually on his head, and all of that. And that actually gave us some kind of insight of what the Super Eagles actually wanted. So technically, we've been good. And when you talk about the caliber of players that have graced this AFCON, for Nigeria, I think we have a good number of our players playing in Europe, and so then is a few selected ones in other countries. Talk about Riyad Mahrez of Algeria and the likes. Although nobody gave us a chance, despite all the stars we feel we have, because I think if you go on the African continent, I think those stars are just peculiar to us. They don't know them outside of Africa.
All right. What of the other African countries, like you said?
Yeah, other African countries. Talk about Jordan Ayew and Dede Ayew. They've not lived up to expectation. I expected more from those guys, but I think at the moment they are still struggling to qualify. They're just 1 point, and their next game against Comoros, it's a must win for them, and they must win convincingly to be able to make it to the next round.
All right. So, Leo, I'm going to ask, what's your own take? The same question we've been asking in terms of the quality of the technicality of this competition, the foreign players, the local players, the coaches and all. What's your take?
I think some coaches are actually doing their job. When you see that Salah was like caged, as you know, it means that the coach did his job and said, okay, if we like cut off the passes to Salah, it means he has no opportunity to score. And that's the same thing that happened to Mane. So it means that those coaches have watched their videos and they know, okay, this is the source of goals for Senegal, this is the source of goals for Egypt. And if we cut the source of goals, it means they don't have the opportunities to score. So which means that those coaches are actually doing their job. And if you look at other countries like Cameroon, in the first game, we did not understand. But in the second game, you actually see our foreign players. The captain is for Saudi. He's actually taking the lead as the captain. He has scored 4 goals so far. But we expect to see other countries, with foreign players really leave a mark. So that's, for so far so good. Some countries are trying, but we really need to see more of the foreign African players really showing some higher quality and scoring goals for their countries. We saw Dede Ayew and Jordan and Andre. So far they've not been convincing. Okay. So which means they still need to do more for their countries. Nigeria, I think they are trying so far.
All right. Thank you. Come on, we are trying so far. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet on that because you're our guest today on the show. Well, Leo, it's been a pleasure having you on the show. Thank you very much for being here, and congratulations to you guys in Cameroon once again.
We're waiting for Nigeria down here in Yaoundé. Bye-bye.
We will show you Nigerian jollof. Friday Joshua, it's also been a pleasure. Thank you for being around on the show.
My pleasure.
And we look forward to seeing you again. I mean, we have many weeks for AFCON, so we're expecting that. I also like to thank Mr. Karibe. Thank you very much, and I apologize we couldn't link up back with you because of some of the network problems that we had. We hope we will have you back again before the AFCON is done so that we could get your unique perspective on this event. Well, it's a wonderful day to be African. Go out and do something great. Until next week, when you try to miss us, try not to miss us too much. Thank you.